Well, Potter's now got a new toy to play with. Mudryk officially is now a Chelsea player. He was unveiled on the pitch at the game. Jules, it's been quite the 24 hours, really, for the Ukrainian international.
Yeah, pretty much incredible after that super fast agreement between the two clubs yesterday in Turkey, as we mentioned on the show last night. And then flying back on the private jet of Boehly back to London, having his medical this morning on Sunday morning, agreeing personal terms which were already agreed, but yeah, an 8.5-year deal. That's a long time, and obviously then being presented at Stamford Bridge on the pitch as we saw with the Ukrainian flag on his back, and watching the win against Crystal Palace. So yeah, let's see now. Once he gets the shirt, let's see how fit he is as well, because let's not forget that he's been on a winter break, of course. So let's see when he will be able to play, start, get a few minutes there and there maybe. But I think there's a lot of Chelsea fans who, if you put aside, of course, the transfer saga and the money they paid and everything, that are really excited to see him, and rightly so, because, as we said, he's a very, very talented player, very exciting player.
Jules, why are they giving out such long contracts?
So yeah, we explained it on yesterday's show. There's two things. I mean, you end up committing, let's put it that way, or investing a lot more money in terms of wages, because if you give someone, let's say, 10 million a year over 5 years, that's 50. Over 8.5 years, obviously it's much more. However, what this long contract allows you to do is spread the cost of that transfer, which is called amortization, over the length of that contract. So you end up paying, putting on your books less and less, or less every year, because you've had this 8-year contract instead of having, for example, a 4-year contract, and you will have to pay that transfer fee twice quicker than over an 8-year length if you want. So this is, I think, why they do it. It's also, I guess, that you commit that players for longer. So if he's a superstar like Mudryk, then you don't need to talk with him about extending his contract and reevaluating his contract in 2 years or 3 years' time. And it's more difficult for him to live on a free, for example, or to run down his contract because the contract is so long. So there's clearly pros and cons, but what we haven't really seen before is many top clubs doing that kind of length. And for so many players, because Badiashile, of course, has signed a very long deal as well. Mudryk, Fofana too. So it's clearly the trend that they're going down now, that the route that Chelsea have decided to go down.
People are going to have to go, though, aren't they?
Oh, yes, you're going to have all these...
I mean, you can't, Potter said it himself. I can't have a dressing room when everybody's fit. I've got 30 players.
Yeah.
I mean, if this continues, when he walks into Cobham, he's going to think he's in Trafalgar Square. I mean, it's just going to be so busy. And you laugh at that and go, oh, yeah, but, you know, but players, it's great. More players, more players, more players. Then it becomes a much more difficult dressing room to manage. You know, we talk about the harmony at Liverpool and City over the years, and now Arsenal, and what Chelsea have had before. You can't have that. It's more difficult to get that team spirit if you've got so many superstars, and then they're all fit, and then 60-70% of them are not playing, because all they've done so far is buy these attacking, or certainly buy and loan in terms of João Felix, these attacking flair players that can play in several positions. But when everybody's fit, and that's going to be coming, I don't know, in 4 weeks, 8 weeks, whenever it is, then that's a lot of players to have to try and manage. And pay their salary as well, by the way.
And even that's in the short term. What happens if, to Jules' point, they don't work out and they have to move on, and now you have to pick up those players? Or, as Todd Boehly continues to do, wants to sign more players. If I am an agent and Todd Boehly calls me, I am asking for 8 years off the bat.
Yeah.
No, everybody coming through the door now is going to want that length of contract. And to Craig's point, so now all of a sudden you have 30 players on 8-year deals. It makes zero footballing sense.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.